Welcome back to the show. Let me get rid of Kid Rock there for you. How's it going? Welcome to the show. Mark Connor's American Media News. We are right now in the studio live with Kevin and Colton. And a lot of you guys know who Kevin and Colton is. You've seen their videos. The two young Marines that are speaking out and talking about Jade Helm. They're talking about life in the military. They're talking about family. We're talking about possibilities, things that could happen, shouldn't happen, and all that fun stuff. Phone lines are open for any of you guys that have the guts, but mostly I think everybody's kind of kicking back. And I'll tell you why. When it comes to the Jade Helm thing, guys, I've noticed that everybody kind of like hushes up. Nobody wants to talk about Jade Helm. Everybody's afraid of what they're going to...
Put it out of mind.
I'm sorry?
They want to put it out of their mind. They don't want to think about it because you think about it and they get worried and freaked out, so they don't think about it. It's not there.
Right. And you know, in my land, they call that sleeping. You're not awake, dude. You don't know what the hell's going on in this world. Do you guys think you're awake?
Yes. I am now. I know since, me and him met a few months back, we've been pretty much best buddies since then. But like I was, sleeping, as you put it. I didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to stress out about it. That's, one more thing I have to worry about, with what we do. And the more stress you're under, the harder it is to do what you got to do.
That's why I think the phones really aren't ringing right now, because they're in shock. When you talk about Jade Helm, everybody just goes. Yeah. And here's another thing. Have you heard, Kevin, that, of course, I'm sure you've heard this. Everybody's yelling, when are you going to wake up? When is everybody going to wake up and realize the truth and see things? So, Kevin, let me ask you, are you a balanced-minded man?
Yes, I am.
No hesitation there. That was good. Well, let me see. No. Well, yeah. No, I'm not. I am. Okay. That was good. Good. Fast answer. You're a balanced man. Colton, you think you're a balanced man?
Yeah, I believe I am.
Do either of you gentlemen think you're crazy?
No, not at all.
Do either of you gentlemen think you're paranoid?
No.
Do any of you gentlemen have PTSD?
No.
Do any of you gentlemen have any mental illnesses?
No.
Have any of you gentlemen been arrested?
No.
Okay. So, have you ever spent time in a psychological institution?
No.
Have you ever been on drugs and illusional?
Nope.
Okay, so you sound like a balanced kind of guy to me. And so, you said you weren't paranoid, right? Well, what do you guys say sometimes?
A little bit.
A little bit? Colton,
everybody's a little paranoid.
A little paranoid, right. Well, now, there is the word paranoia. There's awake. There is alertness.
We'll go with alertness.
There we go. That's what I'd like to say, too. I'm not paranoid. I'm just friggin' alert, man.
I'm aware of my surroundings.
Yes. I pay attention to what's going on around me. And that comes from my training. And years and years of bodyguarding celebrities and working for some really goofy people.
Yeah, exactly. Keep an eye on what's around you and who's around you.
That's right. And so there's a difference between being paranoid and aware and alert. So you guys think you're aware, basically,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Not paranoid. Okay, so then what's the big deal about Jade Helm?
It's just us being on guard in case anything does happen, like being alert. Because when you get complacent in our training and just in general, if you get complacent, you mess up. In our line of work, it gets people killed.
Exactly.
So you can never get into the complacency, into basically paranoia or sleeping. I've noticed that more and more Americans are waking up, which is good. They're actually being alert of what's going on, which is what needs to happen. Because, if you stay in the same routine, it's just you're an easier target.
That's right. That's right. If you take the same way to work every day, well, then you're setting up a scenario.
Yeah, it's like, for example, like when I was in boot camp, one of my drill instructors told me, it was one of our little group discussion things we had, as a platoon. And he told all of us, he's like, if you get complacent, you're an easy target. And he, I asked him later on, what exactly he was talking about. And he was to the point where he was a paranoid man. And that was, and honestly, he had good reasons to be, he'd seen a lot, done a lot, and there's I mean, for anybody in the military, people are out to get us.
I want to take that, Colton, for a second, what you just said. Military, people out to get us. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I know you're pretty much on the same page with me about it. You have people from other countries, obviously, our quote-unquote enemies. Obviously, they're out to get us, ISIS, all that crap. They obviously, they're not our friends. They don't like us. They don't want us to be here, just like we don't want them to be here. But in the same sense, there's people here in the States, the anti-military, like he had said, been called baby killers, from the term back in Vietnam.
That's unreal. Man, when you said that to me, I just wanted to scream.
Yeah. And it's sad because those are the people that we fight for that, say things like that to us. But, there's other people here, that's why we do it.
You go out there and even die for the guys that pissed on you, basically, huh?
Yeah.
I don't agree with what they're saying to us and how they don't support us, but it's their First Amendment right to free speech, and that's what I'm fighting for, so
that's
I completely get mad.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I've had conversations, people, ask me, it's like, why do you do what you do? It's just, there's things the military do, it's just not right, and this and that. I'm like, well, you can have your own opinion, but just know that I put my life on the line so that way you can have that opinion.
That's right. And I can't believe people don't appreciate that and respect that. Exactly.
But even at that, they may not agree with what I do and things like that, but after telling them that, they at least have that, that common respect for that. They respect me and, what I say.
Kevin, what do you have to say to some of these guys that have made some really stupid comments on these shows?
Just, if you're going to trash talk and, be a bully, essentially, is all you're doing. You're being a grade school bully.
Okay, I thought this one guy, I was like, dude, what are you, 10 or something, man?
It's, just keep your comments to yourself. If you have nothing good to say, don't say it. Like, yeah, you can have your own opinion, and I don't care.
Yeah, there's a difference between a valid point and an opinion just because you don't like what's going on.
Yeah, and there's also a difference between voicing your opinion and abusing a person while you're voicing their opinion.
Exactly.
Come on, free speech is welcome. That's what this show's called, Free America.
Right.
It's not called You're Free to Abuse My Guest, though.
And for everyone that's been bashing us on comments saying that we're dumb for doing this and that, we're going to get, in trouble for it and all that. No, our views on this and everything we talked about isn't what the actual Marine Corps is. It's
this is
what we know.
Yeah, this is our roots, how we were raised, and how we feel. I mean, this show, it has nothing. Well, obviously, it has to do with us being in the military, but our opinions have to do with our personal experiences and our lives. I mean, we don't go up to our our command and be like, oh, hey, we're going on a talk show. What should we say? What should we do? What should we talk about? I mean, I know for a fact that none of your guys know that you're doing it, and none of my guys know that I'm doing it. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if it stayed that way, but eventually somebody's gonna hear about it. But if they really want to start,
like right now,
yeah. But I mean, if anybody really wants to say anything about it, I mean, I'll tell them the exact same thing. These are our personal opinions. We did this by our choice. And
so you're not worried about any repercussions, guys?
No, if it happens, it happens.
Exactly. Like
it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Well, like I said before.
See, now you're going to make your mom cry again, Colton.
I've got 3 years left on my contract right now, but I mean, to get my voice out to people around the world, essentially, right now, that's worth a lot more than me.
So, Colton, what would you do right now if you found out when you went back to the base today that your CO was watching the show?
I'd ask him how he thought about it.
There you go.
I'd ask him if he liked it.
Really? What if he said, well, I got some bad news for you. There's some people pissed off at you. You shouldn't have gone on that show, and the repercussions are, guess what? You're now dishonorably discharged. What do you say?
I'll tell him, sir, with all due respect, I voiced my opinion, and you know as well as I do, that's why we do what we do. So if you feel that way and that's what has to happen, then that's what has to happen.
See that? Kevin, how do you feel?
Same way. Like I said, I'm more of a target than I ever was, even though I make myself a target every day with the flags that fly off my truck. But it's again, not about me. I do it for the American people. Well, hell, right now I'm doing it for the world. Let them know what they need to know and stuff. So it's whatever happens to me, it doesn't matter.
So both of you gentlemen are willing to forfeit and kick the career out of the bag, basically, to do this.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Being in the Marines, that's a huge part of my life. It was a big accomplishment for me, and I'm very proud to be a Marine. But
remember, it is just a part of your life.
Exactly. Not anything against it at all, because I love what I do. I love to be able to do what I do. To have that opportunity to do what I do. But if I have to give that up, to be honest, I'll give it up. Because if I can't be honest and be myself, then why do what I do? It's like how everybody says, if you have a job that you love, you never work a day in your life.
Have you guys taken a litmus test yet?
A what?
A litmus test, I believe it's what it's called.
I don't believe so.
Yeah.
You have?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Can you, not Colton, obviously, since he didn't take it. And I had a feeling Colton was going to say no, because Kevin, that they don't actually do certain things to, PFCs, and they don't just don't let certain people know certain things, until you get to a certain rank. What bothers you the most about that test?
The questions are kind of rigged, in my opinion.
What do you mean?
Like how the wording is, it basically forces you to answer certain ways, and if you don't, it kind of is a red flag to them.
Yeah.
So.
What do you mean, answer in certain ways? In other words, agree with what they want you to.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Conditioning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Kevin, do you think you've been conditioned?
No. Obviously not, because I wouldn't be doing this.
That's right. You haven't been conditioned. So do you act like you're conditioned sometimes?
Yeah.
Sure.
When the time comes for it.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to act like, you're part of the gang. Do you guys worry? This is why I asked that question, or made that statement. You're part of the gang. You're the Marine Brotherhood. It never dies, right?
No.
You're a Marine till the day you die, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Are you guys worried about being infiltrated?
Yes, I am. Just with how things are going, with the way recruiting efforts have been, or even just like doing training events with other countries in our own land, it kind of it's a little eerie.
Opportunity for we have our guard let down a little bit more. When we have other countries' militaries coming in, so we can do conjoined training exercises. My personal opinion is that our guard is down a little bit more because we're trying to be open with their militaries and get that that mutual training in, so that way we can be comfortable. Like before, if the situation arises where we need to, go fight together, or.
And we all know what the Trojan horse was.
Yes.
We know how it worked.
Yep.
And how it was implemented and fooled, and the Trojan horse. Years ago, Colton, many years ago, before either one of you were born, there was a man a Japanese man that said, and I'm sure you've heard about this, that nobody will ever invade the United States of America because behind every blade of grass there's a gun.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got news for them. Behind every blade of grass there's about 3 guns.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely true.
And in some cases, way more than that, And so I think that people should be careful about that, for sure. Infiltration is a big deal because guys like you that put things together like what you're doing and what have you, now you guys belong to a group of guys, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Would you like to tell me about them?
Yeah, we're part of a club, Country Boy Cadillac, and we have it on the front of our trucks. We fly the American flag and Don't Try Me flag, and now some of us are flying the Rebel flag. It's just, we basically go around helping those in need. It's to improve relations with the military and civilians.
Right. Especially like in our area, a lot of people look down on the military because, like, the town right outside of base, guys get stressed out all day, all week at work, and they go out to the bars, they drink, whatever. And everybody knows, if you're stressed out, you're pissed off at somebody or something, or whatever, your stress levels are higher than normal, and you're gonna get into some kind of conflict somewhere or another, or there's issues that come up, and the people out in town, some of them they just really don't like the military, and so we're trying to help them understand, like, hey, everybody's got those moments, they got their ups and downs, but you got to realize, like, we're here to help people here and everywhere across the country, and so we hold benefits and things like that to raise money, without any names. I know the last benefit we held, last official benefit we held, was for a former Marine and his family, because he had moved into a house, and the landlord knew but did not tell them that the house had asbestos, and he lost a newborn son and I believe a 1 or 2 year old son.
Yes.
He lost 2 of his 4 sons.
Wow.
And he lost everything he owned because it was all infected with the asbestos in the house, and he had his truck and his wife and his other 2 sons.
Mm-hmm. And you guys did a benefit for them.
Exactly. We held a benefit